Hi, this is Joan, and you're looking at an episode of Half and Half. Now, it's just recently been turned back into put back on the television. It came on in the early 2000s, and it's something that I watched a lot with my kids. And I remember going to work, and I was telling somebody about the show, and I was saying I like the show, but I think it's extremely prejudiced. At the time, I don't think we used the word colorist too much. And I remember I I said something to that effect, and the girl said, "Well, they all look pretty close to the same color. I don't think it's colorist." And I think that it is an ingenious plot. What they do is they do make sure that the actors, or specifically the actresses, are all pretty close to the same color. Where they differentiate, and what they brought a lot of attention to, was hair. This is Dee Dee, and her mother is named Dee Dee also. There's a big Dee Dee and a little Dee Dee. This is Mona. She is Dee Dee's half sister. Now, even though, like I said, I like the show, it's a show that to me stirred up a lot of mixed emotions because even though I did think like people like to say, oh, the acting was just wonderful and stuff, I did think it was well acted and everything and well written. But I also thought that it was also very depressing because now here you see Dee Dee. She is like supposed to be like the epitome of what a cultivated, classy young woman is supposed to be. She is a half sister to Mona. Let's see, here's Mona. Now, the only real difference you're going to see is the hair. And in this introductory uh, in this introductory sequence, I was trying to get a picture that showed all of them. You see that the Monas, you have Mona and her mother Phyllis. They both have, even though their hair is probably in this episode, like on the scale, let's say 3B or 3C, they are contrasted with the Dee Dees, who have very straightened hair. You don't ever see them with anything other than very straightened hair. So I think that this is a way of getting around coming right out and making this one just extremely pale and this one's just extremely dark. It's a mind game. It's all a mind game. So what they do is they make them pretty close in coloring. Everybody is just a pretty much shade of caramel brown, but they make a point of these two who are supposed to be having a really rough time in life having natural hair. And these two, can't see her mom. Let me see if I can get a shot with her mom in it. Oops, I totally took it out. Okay, well, I'll keep going and maybe I'll get to it. But they make a point of making a contrast to what their lives are. Now, as I said, I found it entertaining, but also kind of depressing because every week you see this young lady being humiliated in some way. Big or small, she was always the butt of the joke, or some guy was rejecting her. She couldn't get this one, she couldn't get that one. Everything was going wrong. But this one was like the princess, everything was going absolutely right. The whole premise of the show is that their father was married to the older one, Mona. He was married to her mother first, played by Thelma Hopkins. And he then married Valerie Pettiford and had Essence Atkins. So basically, it's saying that this person, Rachel True, playing Mona, and her mother, Thelma Hopkins, are kind of losers. Now, how she could be a therapist, and this was in 2005, her mother is a therapist, and she's charging like $100 an hour for, and that's a nice amount now, so it was definitely a nice amount 15 years ago. How she could be considered kind of a loser is strange, and her daughter, Mona, is a assistant president of a music something or other, and still they are considered to be kind of low class and trashy. So what happens is that the baby sister, Dee Dee, decides she wants a relationship with her older sister, Mona. And it details how the two of them are trying to find each other and get along. But like I said, to me, the whole thing was extremely colorist. And that is Mona's best friend, who she doesn't ever, I don't think they ever got together, though they hinted at it a lot. And you saw the contrast between the mothers right there. Similar in coloring, even though the D's are both a little lighter than the Mona and Phyllis, but not a whole lot. So you can't really just call them out and say, hey, you're being very, very colorist. Because, if anything, maybe they're being harassed. They even had an episode where they brought on the late Diane Carroll, who in her later career was everybody's glamorous mother or grandmother or something. Here she was the grandmother who, contrary to what everybody else did, she was nicer to Mona. Just went out the frame. She was nicer to Mona than she was to Dee Dee. And when Dee Dee confronted her and said, why are you so nice to her and so mean to me? She explained that, well, I wanted to balance it out because I knew that her life was going to be so easy and yours was going to suck. So, okay, and here you had the two Dee Dees together and the man who caused the problem. Uh, this is Oba Babatunde. I think his name sounds African. I don't want to say he is because he could just like the name. But the whole thing is about classism and they finally gave Phyllis a boyfriend. They gave her light, younger boyfriend who's lighter skinned also, and also they straightened her hair. So all of this, I'm pointing all of this out to tell you that you're being influenced, you're being mind controlled. They do it so subtly that it's hard to catch sometimes. But what they're basically telling you is that light skin is money. Light skin, straight hair, European features is money. You might wind up having to go with a guy who's a little shorter than you, but cool. He's totally rich because she does not have to work at all. She simply spends money and he's happy to have her. Now the two, here we have Mona again. And of course, Mona with her big bushy hair is a music executive. She has to work. Dee Dee is being totally supported by her father. Okay, I think they did have an episode where he told her to go get a job, or she said, I remember she worked in a restaurant for a couple of days until she got tired of it. But this man is supporting the two pale ones, or the two with the straight hair. They don't have to do anything. They can if they want, but they don't have to. They have options. And when he was poor, he was with Phyllis. The one, Phyllis is Mona's mother. The thing is, she was his come-up woman. And it's amazing how they show you these things, and they show them so subtly that it might be easy to pass up. And you see how she just shook a napkin in her face because Mona gets dogged out every week in this particular show. And the thing is, to me, well, they also trick you by saying that Mona's grandmother is Jewish, you know. Now, if anybody looks like they're mixed with something, it's here. Well, actually, they both do, but especially Essence Atkins. But they don't tell you that because this is all about, I think, the boule sensibilities and class systems among African Americans, how they can be a little bit tricky, but they are most definitely there. And how Mona doesn't really fit in. They did have an episode where they finally said, "Oh, she's so beautiful," and even her friend here, Chico Beneman, said, "I think that the reason why we're saying she's so pretty is because she straightened her hair out." The hair is what they are holding on to define class, as opposed to totally making it about color, even though the ones who there is a slight difference, but so I don't know. I just simply wanted to point out that the realities that you're seeing now are not new. They may seem like they're new because you have social media to point them out. Like, I know you have the Chrissy channel, and I can't remember the other woman's name who says that she's the first person to bring out colorism. But I believe colorism was back in biblical times. I think it was always here. It has always been here. And basically, I think the lighter people have always been considered the higher echelon because I do think that the fallen angels, well, I think that they were lighter. And I think that this world is being ruled by the devil. And now, please don't tell me, oh, you're trying to say all light skinned people came from the devil. No, I'm not. Um, there are different ways to be light, I think. And it told you that I think it was Noah was very, well, they didn't say light, they just said glowing. So I'm not quite sure if that meant light. But like every other African American in this country, I also have light skinned people in my family who I actually care a lot about. But when I first started this research, I really wanted, I did not start off specifically searching in the Bible. What I wanted to find out is, why do white people hate black people? It simply makes no sense. We have done nothing to you. We have breastfed your babies. You have done things to us, and we don't hate you. But you have done stuff to us, and you hate us. And oddly enough, that study led me to the Bible, to all kinds of, well, specifically it led me to the Bible and to, well, as I've said, I think 1 and 2 are two different creations. And I had always read where the Bible was constantly saying, don't mix, don't mix, don't mix. And I wondered, like, why? I also wondered, where did the ancient people go? I mean, I remember sitting in the hall thinking, well, you're telling me about all these, the Philistines, all these other people, the Canaanites. Well, where are they now? And I would be told, well, they died out. And, of course, I thought, well, that's like impossible. Somebody had to have some children in there. But in any case, Genesis is the genesis for our existence. And pretty much, not pretty much, everything that you see now has happened before. It's just a matter of looking for it. So when you look at the Chrissy channel, and I'm sorry I can't remember the woman's name, but she says that she is the first colorist soldier or something like that, which I kind of think is, you don't know what people might have said before there was television or radio or anything. But that's why I don't really say very much about it, because it is what it is. It is part of the fabric of what the world is. And it is so much a basis for everything that it can go right past you without you even noticing, like this particular show where they are constantly telling you this beautiful woman is not as beautiful as the other woman, because the other woman is paler, slightly paler, with straight hair. So I don't know. This is just something to think about, because everywhere around you you're being influenced. It's all propaganda. It's just entertaining propaganda. So, well, you guys have a wonderful and thoughtful